Hey, what's going on? It's your girl KAS the Bestie here today, and I do want to bring you guys this live today so that we can speak about authenticity. So today we're going to be speaking about authenticity. I want to thank you guys so much for joining the live. Hey there. So right now we got some positive vibration music going on. I already cleared the energy before we got here. We're going to get into this and we're going to become our highest versions of ourselves. That's the goal. So I want you guys to stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I love all of the support that I receive, and I am here for you guys every step of your journey if you guys are trying to heal so that you can become your highest versions of yourself. So I'm gonna give a few more minutes. I'm gonna just shuffle my cards because I'm gonna do an energy reading for you guys after I'm done with speaking about the authenticity, just so that we can get the energy back up and so everybody can feel understood and not feel ashamed. Because you know, sometimes we all go through these moments where we feel like we're in a place where this is not the life we're supposed to be living, or these are not the people that we're supposed to be around. There's a lot of times that people feel these feelings of just imposter syndrome, feeling like the things that they're supposed to be doing, they're not doing because the situations of their life, because their circumstances. So I want to say thank you guys so much for joining, and we're gonna get started right in. So, authenticity. Society can benefit from people's inability or unwillingness to be fully authentic, because conformity and inauthenticity often help maintain order, stability, predictability within existing systems, whether it's a cultural, economic, or political dynamic. And here's a breakdown of what happens. So economic efficiency is how they like to break people down. They use consumerism. So it thrives on insecurity. If people feel pressured to conform to certain ideals, beauty, success, or lifestyles, then they will stop being their authentic self. They will not feel like, okay, I can be just myself. I don't have to be like the people in my area. I don't have to be like the people who I grew up with. So they try to use society to keep you stuck in a position where you feel like you have to keep on fitting in with other people. As you grow up, your personality doesn't become yours, it becomes that of somebody else's. They're more likely to buy more products or services if you meet those standards. So they think if you're insecure about yourself and who you are on the inside, you'll buy more. You'll try to do more so that you can put money into the economy so that people will like you. No, not knowing that you don't have to worry about other people liking you. You can like yourself. You can love yourself. Because there's a lot of people out there who might be the same as you, but you don't know who's the same as you because you're stuck in the area that you came from, or you're stuck in a place where you no longer want to be. You're stuck in a position of life where you once were and now you feel grown out of. Another thing that they use to conform people's authenticity would be working. So a lot of jobs reward behavior that fits the company's culture, not personal authenticity. So it'll suppress people's individuality, and it can make employees more manageable or efficient within a hierarchy. So what that would be saying is, when you're working at a workplace, say if you are an African American like me, or just of another race, and you're going into an area that is predominantly of one race, you're more likely to act of that race, or you're more likely to conduct yourself in a manner that is comfortable for the race that you're going around, or the workplace, that setting that you're going around. So whether you're with people who are in high financial ranking, you might be a little bit more snobby, or a little bit more poised, as what they would say, code switching. These things are bought so that people don't get into their authenticity, so that they don't have the ability to feel like they can be themselves, because they feel like if they don't take the time to understand how the place that they're going to be is going to be, so that they can fit in, they feel like they won't be able to sustain that job. So that's one way that people stop their authenticity. Another thing would be social control. So, predictable behavior is easier to manage. Government, school, religious institutions, and other authorities often encourage standardized beliefs and behaviors because it's easier to regulate large populations when people don't deviate from the norm. So, pretty much, if everybody in your area acts like this and you don't act like this, it's still easier for them to be like, oh, well, you're the wrong one and they're not, because at the end of the day, everybody else is conforming, so you're the odd one out. It's really the same as being a black sheep in somebody's family. They use the way other people act, other people conforming, other people not being authentic with themselves as an excuse for other people to not be authentic with themselves. They feel like, hey, why do you want to be different so bad? What's so wrong with being like this? Well, what's wrong with being like this is that it's not being yourself. Sometimes we'll put ourselves into positions where we want to be like somebody who we do not have any connection to what they like. We didn't get this dream, or we didn't get this situation that we are trying to include ourselves in from our own self-wants and our self-needs. We take it from other people's experiences. I could say that for an example, Cardi B. When Cardi B first came up, she was first started off on social media. When she first started out, she used to make funny videos, and then she started rapping, but she was always being herself. She never tried to be something that she wasn't in the beginning. Like, she initially just started off like, hey, I'm from New York, I do this, I act like this, and y'all gonna like it or you're not. I talk like this, and you're gonna like it or you're not. And that's the reason why she got famous as she did, because she was authentically herself. Now, there's other people who also had similar circumstances. They may have grew up in the same area as her, or they may have went to the same strip club that she had went to. But in the end, they didn't have the same life as she did. They are not her. So to feel like you can make something happen out of your life that's meant for somebody else will cause you to be drifted away from your exact purpose, because when you align yourself with other people's purposes, it takes away from your purpose. When you align yourself with other people, it takes away from the fact that you have something to do in this world. Sorry, I had made some tea before I got on live, and I forgot about it. Yes, WT. All right, where we left off would be another reason why society doesn't want you to be authentic would be they want you to stay feeling like you have a punishment for deviation. So they don't want you to feel like you can do anything without society's approval. They don't want you to feel like you can go for a job, or you can go, hey, Nai, how you doing? Yeah, they don't want you to feel like you can go for something that you want without somebody else giving you that A-okay. Well, you can do anything you want to do. You don't need anybody's approval. As long as you know that you've done the research, as long as you know that you've done the work, then you do not need anybody's approval for doing the things that you want to do. You just need to put the action behind it. And people are always going to have something to say because they don't quite understand what your method is or what the reasoning is for what you're doing. But once you complete what you're doing, they'll see. And that's all that matters. You do not need anybody's approval for you to do what you want to do. If you want to go and preach the word, you can go preach the word, as long as you know that the word that you're preaching is correct. When you know in your heart that something is meant for you, then you know that it's meant for you. There's nobody who can stop you or take you and deter your path from that. And you want to know, they use the fact that those who challenge social expectations through radical honesty and non-traditionalized lifestyles and dissenting opinions are often marginalized. So they make it so that authenticity is risky. They make people feel scared to be themselves. They make people feel like, well, if I go this direction, I might lose my friends, or I might lose. If I don't head on that direction, I might lose my friends, or I might lose. If I don't head on that direction. So, can you guys hear me? I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Because I just got a call, so let me know in the comments if you guys can hear me. Because I don't want to continue if you guys can't hear me, so let me know below. Do you guys hear? Can you guys hear? Thank you. All right. So the next thing would be cultural cohesion. So shared norms create identity. So when you are in a position where you grow up in an area, most of the people in that area are going to typically act the same. So when you're in that area, you feel like you're not able to just be yourself, or you're not able to talk the way you want to talk, walk the way you want to walk, dress the way you want to dress, because the people in that area are more like this. Well, let's say, for example, when I was younger, I grew up in Salem, Massachusetts. I also grew up in Boston. I also grew up in Haverhill. So those are all three different types of areas. When I lived in Salem, there had a lot of different types of people, a lot of Hispanics. And when I lived in Boston, it was a lot of different types of people, literally of all races. But it was predominantly was black. And well, the people who I was around were predominantly black. As I moved to Haverhill, predominantly was black. And well, the people who I was around were predominantly black. As I moved to Haverhill, predominantly Caucasian. So being in all these different areas, it's hard for you to find out who you truly are, because your identity is being pulled in so many different directions. Your identity is trying to be pushed in a different direction. So you feel like, oh, because you're a part of this culture, you cannot act like this, or you cannot talk like this. But you have to understand that culture does not have anything to do with anything. You could be black and you can talk and be very smart and be highly intelligent, and people might think that you are speaking in a way that is most likely might be something that people say white people talk like that. But it's like, you're just speaking intelligently. You're just letting your facts be proven out of your conversation. So it's really not a matter of whether you come from here or you come from there. I've been around a lot of people. I can even speak Spanish, but I'm not going around acting like I'm a Dominican. I love Dominican people though, but I'm not acting like I'm a different person because I'm around those people. So authenticity threatens status quo. So authenticity will threaten people's ability to feel like they have control. So say if you are in school and there's a group of mean girls, these girls, they're just mean to everybody. And they feel like if you don't act like them, then you're not cool. But really the cool people are the people who act like themselves. Cool people that don't need to fit in. People who are themselves, they do not have to worry about anything but who they're going to be. So if too many people lived authentically, they might challenge outdated systems. They might challenge patriarchy, capitalism, nationalism, leading to a social upheaval. So they feel like if everybody was themselves, then nobody would be controlled. Interpersonal smoothness. So in these day and ages, people really value politeness over the truth. In daily interactions, people often suppress their true feelings. To avoid conflict, awkwardness, society runs more smoothly when people follow social scripts, or even if they're not genuine. So when people don't speak up or don't say what they truly mean, then they tend to go with the pattern of letting things just go with the flow. You want things to be nice. You want things to work out smoothly. But sometimes you need to make noise. Sometimes you need to have a commotion in order for you to actually get to where you want to get to. You need that tower moment so that you can elevate. And I'm going to talk about the tower moment is like something I learned in tarot. So in towers, things come down. But things don't go down just so that they can be destroyed. Things tear down so new things can be built. So don't let when things fall down, that doesn't mean that it's the end. It means that it's just another opportunity for you to be you. It gives you another opportunity for you to start over and be the person that you really want to be. Because sometimes things fall apart for a reason. God will never let you be comfortable anywhere you're not supposed to be. God will never let you be comfortable doing anything you're not supposed to be doing. So that's the reason why a lot of us have anxiety and we're stressed out. We got to go to these jobs we don't want to do because that's not what we're supposed to be doing. We're actually made for so much more. We were not meant to be conformed into this era that they have. You see, they came out with AI. So they have AI doing things that humans can do. So now humans have no choice but to be human. because we already have enough robots going around. We already have enough systems set in place to be automated. So be yourself so that you don't have to be a part of that system, because they would walk us out of that. They're going to make it so that humans have no choice but to be authentic, or they're going to die out. They're going to make it so that if you're not yourself and you try to be like other people, you're not going to be able to survive, because there's too many people doing the same thing. Everything is oversaturated. But you know what's not oversaturated? You being you. So how do we know if we're not our authentic selves? That's a good question. Well, sometimes when you're not your authentic self, you feel emotionally drained around other people. So if you're consistently masking, people-pleasing, or shape-shifting to be accepted, that means your energy will tank after social interactions. Authenticity is energizing. Pretending is exhausting. And sometimes it feels just right and natural for us to pretend, because this is how we fit in with the society. Like, we don't want to be alone, but the best moments are to be alone. The best moments are when you're by yourself and you can think clearly. You don't have anybody trying to bring you down. Those are the best moments. And you don't want to have to worry about whether you're going to be yourself or if you're going to try to go tap dance to make somebody else feel better. Another thing would be you struggle to speak your truth. You might avoid conflict at all costs. You might say yes when you really want to say no. You might hold back your opinions and feelings just so that somebody else doesn't feel like their feelings are hurt. When your voice is silenced, especially by yourself, you're not living from your center. So you need to make sure that whenever you have something to say, you speak up and you say it. Whenever you feel like you're being wronged, you must speak up for it, because when you stay quiet, that is how they win. That is how people muffle your authenticity. That's how people try to come in and destiny swap with you and try to be who you're really supposed to be, because they see how amazing you are. They see how awesome it is to be you, but you don't see how awesome it is to be you yet, because everybody is taking from you and everybody's projecting onto you. Another way you'll know if you're not being your authentic self is when you're always overthinking how you're perceived, or if you're hyper-focused on what other people think, or how you're being judged, or whether you're doing or saying the right thing. You might want to you may be looking at yourself through somebody else's lens instead of your own. So you need to be careful that who you are is not just a projection of somebody else's trauma. Is what you're thinking about right now, or what you're doing, is that something that you truly wanted to do, or is that something that you are doing because somebody else wanted you to do it, or somebody is telling you that that's a good decision? It's always good to question everything. Never be complacent or okay with somebody telling you what something is and what something is not. Always figure it out for yourself, because at the end of the day, you're never going to be able to come to your real you until you are comfortable asking those questions, whether you feel like somebody feels like you're stupid or not. Asking a question is something that smart people do. So if you are asking questions, just know you're correct. You're doing the right thing. There's nothing to stress about, because when you are inquiring about something that has to do with your future, that's just you digging in so that you can find your authentic self, the person who you set up to be before you even got here. Do you guys like my cup? So my daughter, she goes to daycare, and she got this cup for me. Well, my daughter's 4. The daycare got me the cup, but it was my gift that I got for Mother's Day, and I loved it so much. I loved it. And she made me this little crafts thing, so I'm like, it's the little things that make me happy. All right, so another way you'll know if you're not being your authentic self is when you feel out of alignment. So when you're feeling off, or you're feeling like something is wrong when there's really nothing wrong, or if you're feeling numb or disconnected, a vague sense that you're living someone else's life, that is when you know that you're not being authentic to yourself, because you don't feel connected to the things that are going on around you. You don't feel connected to your job. You don't feel connected to your family. You don't feel connected to your friends, because you're out of alignment. When you get into alignment, you'll align yourself with people who are more like you, who are truly like you. And you'll never have to dull yourself down. You'll never have to make yourself smaller. You'll never have to be too much for anybody. Authenticity brings out a sense of congruence. When your inner and your outer world, can I not talk today? When your inner and your outer worlds match. So that is an example of how you bring yourself anxiety. When you are not matching your inner world with your outer world, you will bring anxiety to yourself. When you're not matching yourself with your mind and your spirituality, that is when you will bring anxiety to yourself, because your spirituality connects you to your authentic self. But because society wants you to be afraid of spirituality, they want people to feel like spirituality is evil or not of God. But they don't realize all the things that are around them that are not of God every single day. They're being trapped inside of a box because they're trying to be controlled. And the only way you can be controlled is when you're in authentic energy, when your vibration is low, when people can bring you down to their level, even when you're vibing at this level. So another example of you not being in your authentic energy would be if you suppress your intuition. So when you constantly ignore gut feelings, desires, or creative impulses because they don't make sense or don't fit the mold, you're betraying your inner compass. Sometimes the things that are going on inside of us are the things that we should be expressing. But because there's so many people around us who might come and think that we're crazy or something, or that we're just not in the right mindset, we don't say them or we don't pursue them because we feel like it's out of this world. But your dreams that are out of this world are for a reason. There's always been a person in the world who was the first to do something. You think that people didn't think they were crazy when that happened? When people were like, "Oh, I'm gonna make electricity," you didn't think he was crazy? You didn't think they thought he was crazy? Like, wow, you're gonna bring light from the sky? That's funny. And look at us. We run on electricity. We run on power. We run on energy. It's just the understanding that we do run on that. So if we can run on that, something else can run on that. See? Science is not so difficult. It's just when sometimes they try to make it seem difficult so people don't feel like they can indulge in it. So they feel like, oh, I'm not smart enough to talk about these things. But a lot of things in science, they're so connected to our everyday life that we don't recognize. And that is the reason why we don't feel connected. But a lot of us have that philosopher mindset. A lot of us have those intelligence within us. They say that we're just theorists, or we're just what do they call them? Conspiracy theorists. There's a lot of conspiracy theories that are real and true, and they will never tell you that they're real and true because they want you to think they're conspiracies. Who are you going to listen to? Yourself or somebody who wants you to be controlled? Another way you know that you're not in your authentic energy would be if you settle for relationships and roles that don't nourish you. If you stay in jobs that make you feel soul crushed, friendships that drain you, and roles that make you shrink, it's a sign of prioritize fitting over being free. You feel like you're too much or not enough when you're constantly trying to tone yourself down or level yourself up just to be accepted. You're dimming your essence. Your authenticity doesn't need adjusting. It needs acceptance. You need to be around people who accept you for who you are, regardless of the crazy thoughts that you have, because they just don't have the perception that you have. Sometimes you might just have a wider perception than somebody else does. And we need to be finding people who are in that same mind space as us. We need to be attracting people who are on the same vibration as us. Because when we're being our authentic selves, we'll no longer attract those people who are not being their authentic selves. Because that's what we attract when we're not being real with ourselves. See, I like to go out and I like to party, I like to dance, but I really like to dance and listen to music. That's the point. It's not about me being around all these other people, flexing on people. I don't care about none of that. I don't gotta flex. I feel happy when I'm just feeling comfortable, when I'm feeling in my own vibe, in my own energy, when I dress the way I want to dress, when I dance the way I want to dress. That's how I feel good. And that's why when you are yourself, you attract people who are just like that. So continue being yourself. And if you are having troubles with finding your authentic self, because I know I used to be so angry sometimes because I knew that I was such a good person, but it was so frustrating to see that people fought tooth and nail to try to prove that I wasn't, or they would try to do things to get me out of my comfortability so that I could act just like them. But then I realized, well, I'm just going to remove those people. I'm just going to stop being around people who are going to keep on enticing me to go back to the way I used to be, the person who I used to be when I was inauthentic, when I wasn't comfortable with being myself. So when you want to find yourself, you need to first acknowledge the programming. You need to start by asking yourself, what beliefs, what roles, what expectations were placed on me while growing up? What did I feel I needed to be loved and accepted while growing up? You need to ask yourself, what's mine? What do I believe about love, purpose, the divine, or God, or the universe, success, or self-worth? We need to ask ourselves these questions so that we can more gauge what ideas are ours and what ideas are somebody else's. You need to let yourself imagine your truth without shame or obligation. Don't feel like you have to be holding yourself to any certain standard. Yeah, everybody wants to be a millionaire, but who wants to be happy? When we know that money doesn't bring happiness. True happiness comes from having your life aligned the way that you want it to. And I promise you, once you align your life the way you want it to, the money will come after. But that's what people have to understand first. When you sell and sacrifice your soul, which is your happiness, to go and get something that is going to be momentarily happiness or instant gratification, that is you selling your soul. That's you selling your life. That's selling your purpose. That's you no longer having the ability to be yourself because you want this thing so bad. Never feel like anything is that worth it that you sacrifice your happiness. There's people who are sacrificing their happiness for marriages because they don't want to be alone. They sacrifice their lives for people who will not even sacrifice them for them. They're giving to people who would not even give to them. And you know what? Yes, being a good person is amazing. That's something that God gave you within yourself, that big heart that you have. But what God did not give you is the feeling that you should be getting stepped on or you should be being walked on. You got to please people. No. This is your life to live. God did not put you here so that you could be not loved, so that you can be struggling. But when you understand that letting go of who other people want you to be will bring you that love, will bring you that happiness, you will be so much comfortable. Because now you'll see, wow, this is how it feels to actually just live in my own life. I don't have to feel what nobody else wants me to feel. I don't have to deal with anybody else's drama. It's a different type of vibe. When you remove fear or guilt, what actually feels aligned with you? Do you only feel like you should do these things because your family does it? I know there's whole bloodlines of people who became nurses or doctors, or they are in the church deeply just because their family are. And they don't even like it. They didn't even want to be a part of it. But because they feel like if they don't do it, they're not going to be fitting in with their family, they feel like they have no choice but to live that way. I know people who feel like they have to go to war. They feel like they have to go to war so that they can make their family feel better, so that they can live up to something that their family already did. Your family lived their whole life. If they are trying to use your life to live vicariously through that, it's selfish. It's selfish. You gotta want to live for yourself. You gotta want to do what you want to do. And it's okay for you to be selfish because, sometimes you have to do things for your betterment. You have to understand when and when not to be selfish, because people will make you feel like being selfish is a crime. No, being selfish is a tool. And it's something that you use when you know that you're a selfless person. You know that you give, you know that you love, and you know that you do without expectation of anything coming back to you. So yeah, sometimes it's good to be selfish. But you have to be also intentional, because if you're not intentional, then you'll just be recklessly putting out this energy. You want to put these energies where it belongs. Give yourself permission to question. It's okay to ask questions. And I know that from when I was a child, that was something that was instilled in me. Don't ask questions. Stay in a child's place. I'm the adult. But not everybody knows what challenges somebody's going through. Not everybody knows what they have to go through to get to where they need to get to. So, even if somebody feels like they have the right way for you, still ask a question. And then if you are not sure, ask another question. Is this belief still serving me? Do I feel expanded or Do I feel expanded or restricted when I live this way? Questioning isn't betrayal, it's becoming. And you don't dishonor roots by growing beyond them. Another thing you want to think of is exploring beyond the familiar. Step outside your bubble. Read spiritual or philosophical texts that will contrast with what you were taught. Try new rituals, practices, or hang out in different communities. Exposure opens you to new possibilities you never knew existed. Another thing you can do is rebuild from a sense of self from the inside out. Instead of asking, who should I be? You need to ask yourself, who do I feel I am? What brings me peace, strength, and meaning? Let your lived experience shape your identity, not just inherited narratives. The people who are around you, just because they came out this way, doesn't mean you will. It doesn't mean that at all. There's people out there who were teen moms. They didn't have good guidance, and they're still doing good in life. Now they're taking care of their kids. They're learning all the steps they need to take from themselves on how to be the best parent. Sometimes it's really just a matter of you figuring it out for yourself. And just like in the laws of the universe, the laws of polarity says that there needs to be an opposite for people to understand. And you'll never be able to understand who you truly are until you see who you truly aren't. So, release the need for external validation. People may not understand your path, and that's okay. Choose authenticity over approval. Let discomfort be a part of the transformation. You're not here to live someone else's idea of what you are. So honor where you come from. Honor where you're going. There's no need to reject everything either. Just keep what feels true, bless and release what doesn't, and find gratitude in the struggle. Because Rome was not built overnight. That's what they say. It was not built overnight. And that's how greatness is not built overnight. Greatness is built on a journey. So unless you want to settle for not being great, you want to settle for being mediocre, you can go ahead and be like the next person. Or you can go ahead and be yourself. Let's show everybody how amazing you truly are. Alright. So that's the information I have on authenticity today. I am going to do an energy reading for you guys. Let's see. Use all these cards. Let's see. Here we go. How you guys doing today? Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I do appreciate you guys being with me on this journey and tuning into my content. This video will be live on YouTube for you guys. I should be able to have it up by 10 a.m. tomorrow, so just stay tuned. If you guys are interested in getting any consultations, I am offering free 10-minute consultations for people who are interested in my spiritual healing and my life coach courses. So thank you guys so much for tuning in with me today. I am so happy, actually. I've been having You know, sometimes when you're around a lot of people, you get a lot of built up energy. So today I had to take the time to just be by myself so I can clear my energy out, because when I'm around a lot of people, or when I'm around a lot of intense energy, it does tend to take a toll on me. So I try to make sure I sage my energy. I keep my crystals with me handy. Listen to my positive frequencies to keep me in my good vibes. So we're gonna do an energy reading for today. If you guys want to chat and say how you guys are doing today, I appreciate you guys coming in. If you guys aren't interested in donating to the channel, my Cash App is KAS the Bestie. All right. What I got today right now that came out was, this ship has sailed, but it came out in a reverse. So what I'm getting from this energy is that somebody is thinking of something. They were wishing for something to happen, or they were hoping that something was going to happen for them, and they feel like the time has come and gone. But the time has not come and gone. It just appears that right now, whatever you were reaching for or whatever you were wanting is just on a different path. And it doesn't feel like something that is never going to come back. It does feel like something that needed to happen so that you can take the time to ground yourself, so that you can find stability, security, performance, growth, and endurance within yourself, so that what you're going towards doesn't lead you astray. Because you see, with the ship, the strip is going out in the distance, right? And then now with this, it's flipped over in reverse. So the ship has not sailed. So that means in reverse, the ship is not actually going away. It's coming towards you. It's on a different path than you are. So with you grounding and continuing to make healthy choices by committing to self-love, self-care, being happy, or enjoying your love in life, and instilling boundaries, it will cause for your life to head in the direction that you want it to. We need to teach people how to treat us and be clear on what we want and what we will not allow in our lives in order for our lives to go in the direction that we want it to. We need to put ourselves first. We need to understand that when we put ourselves first, then the things that we want, they come into fruition, right? Be present for yourself on your journey. Be here to do the things that you need to do. It says put yourself first and then be present. See, when you're too focused on what other people are doing, it tends to take away from what you're trying to do. You see, with the grounding, you know how difficult it looks that you could stack these two rocks on top of each other? That takes focus. That takes the ability to make a healthy choice to change. See, when you be present, you can look at things from a different perspective. You can see differently. Let's see. If this comes out again, then we know. Hey, Young John. Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for tuning in with me today. How you doing? So you stay present and look at things from a different perspective. Have faith and gratitude. See, right now, when you're on this different path, you want to make sure that you're staying present. You're being focused. You're doing the things that you're supposed to do. I'm doing good, John. Thank you for tuning in with me today. Follow me if you want to see more content. Thank you for, tuning in with me today. Understand that nothing is going wrong with your path that you're on. Know that everything is on its way. So pay attention to the signs, because sometimes when we're too focused on what's going on around us, like we were saying before, like when you're not being present, when you're too focused on things, you're too focused on what's gone away, what's sailing away from you. You don't realize what's right in front of you. what's right in front of you is abundance, positive mindset, manifesting, gratitude, bliss, blessings, and it's all coming in divine timing. So just stay focused on what you need to do so that what you want actually can come in, because I see it coming. Look it. Stay optimistic and take a leap of faith. So that's just showing you, keep taking those steps in that direction that you want to go. Keep on, because what you're doing is going to bring you a shock. It's going to bring you in a shock. What's going to happen? What's going to happen, Spirit? Wow. Okay, so this one seems like it was supposed to be a surprise, but the shock is going to be that you're going to be ascending. You're going to be rising to new lengths. You're going to be higher and paths. And you know what's so crazy, John? I'm like looking at this picture, looking at your picture, and I'm looking at this card, and the picture you have and this card are so like similar. I don't know why. Like, where did I learn what from? I feel like do you feel resonated with this energy? Because I feel like I'm tapping into your energy right now. I usually don't do personal, like, tap-ins for people. But if you are and you resonate with the energy, take what's meant for you and leave what doesn't resonate with you behind. Take what resonates and leave the rest behind. So, like we were going back to say, right? With the shock, everybody is, now you're ascending. Now you can free yourself from what's holding you back. See, this is beautiful. No more overthinking. Leave that overthinking in the past. And be aware of codependency. So be aware of anybody who's trying to connect to you, keep you stuck and stagnant, because that is how you are not remaining in your authentic selves. That's what we were speaking about today, was being authentic. Because sometimes people will want to hold on to it because they know that they're trying to get to a place too. But when you're on your journey and they're on their journey, they want you so bad to be on their journey. But you have to remember that your journey is for you. It's not for anybody else. So yes, be loving, be caring, but don't worry about other people. Because these people, they have things that are keeping them held back, like addictions, things that are they're codependent on, obsessions, possessions, control, emotional blocks. There's things that people are trying to keep from happening. And right now, this card just came up. When I see the death card, it means like, and it came in reverse. It's more of like, they're not trying to let go of the past. They don't want the past to change. They want to stay in the same places. So don't let people hold you back. Self-indulgence. It says self-worth and value. Take time to heal. Take time to do your shadow work. Take time to appreciate yourself, because you are loved and you are cared about. God loves you. Hey, I love you. So don't worry about the people who are around you. You will attract the people who are meant to be in your life. John, I'm feeling like this is for you. I'm feeling like this is for you. Patience. Patience. Wow, John. You let go, need control. See? Self-reflection. It's all the same theme. It's all the same theme. Just understanding who you are and reflecting on who you're supposed to be and going into that path that you're supposed to be going on. Don't let anything hold you back. You have something great that you're supposed to be accomplishing. Something amazing. Oh, that energy is great. Okay. John, I need you to follow me, because we're going to have more conversations. You're the first person I would say that I've done a live reading for, so this energy just feels like, wow, thank you so much for tapping in with me today. right, so this is going to be the end of my energy reading and of this live today, but I do appreciate you guys so much for tapping in with me. And definitely follow me, subscribe to me on YouTube. This will be live on there, so if you guys are interested in any additional content, I am going to be posting more videos. I will be going live all the time, and I am having my spiritual life coaching classes, and I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support. It's your girl KAS the Bestie. It will be in touch soon. Bye.